Okay, so it's true fact, true story. No one's going to save us. Yeah, no one's going to save me. No one's going to save you. The only person that's going to save ourselves is ourselves, right? So it's really, really, really important that we remember that. We've been fed so much through growing up, through whatever system. If you want to look at the government, the media, the movies, Disney, especially if you're a woman, that we're going to be saved. We're going to be saved by a man. We're going to be saved by a superhero. All of that stuff. Nope. We save ourselves. Yeah. And what's really important, again, is that we remember that. And I do repeat myself a lot, but we learn through repetition. Okay. So it's very intentional when I do repeat myself, because it's very important that you remember this and that you learn, because you're so very capable in saving yourself. You're so very capable in creating the change that's required for you to shift things. It simply all comes down to a choice for you to save yourself, a choice for you to say, right, enough's enough. I'm fucking sick of this. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of struggling. I'm sick and tired of being stressed out every month, of being unhealthy, of being sick and tired, of not being able to enjoy myself, of not being able to treat my family in the way that I desire, of not having enough money to do the things that I want and to do the things that I love, to not even have enough money to pay the bills or to feed myself and my family. I'm fucking sick and tired of this, because I did not come to this planet to do this. I did not come to this planet to feel this way. And the fact of the matter is honey, you didn't. You came to this planet to live in your bliss. You came to this planet to live in abundance. You came to this planet to experience absolutely everything it is that you desire to experience, and to explore absolutely every facet of yourself and your life that you want to. Not that anyone else has told you to do, not in the way that they've led us to be and to do, no, in the way that you want to. So I'm going off a bit tangent. I'm going off in a bit of a tangent here. However, this is really important for you to come to clarity of. If you look at your life, are you living your life in the way that you really want to? If you strip back everything. And first of all, of course I am. I chose the way that I'm living, yeah? But did you really choose the way that you're living? Or was that chosen for you by outside sources? Whether that be the government, society, family, friends. If you really sat back and stripped everything away, are you living in the way that you truly desire? When I was working for the corporate bank and studying to be an accountant, I would have said, yes, of course I am. I made these choices. I wanted to work for the bank. I want a good paying job. Well, why did I want a good paying job? Because it was programmed and trained into me that having a good paying salaried job is the way forward. It's the way to success. It's the way that you're able to get a mortgage. It's the way of whatever. And then when I really sat back and thought about everything, when I started my online business journey back in 2017, I realised that I didn't actually choose that. That was programmed into me from a very young age. And my family didn't tell me what to do. They didn't tell me how to live, and they really gave me the freedom of choice in that sense. But my freedom was programmed out of me through the guise of living free because of the choices that I was given in the way that I was living. You know, we're given choices to choose certain things at school, at college. We're given choices to stay and go to university or go and have a job. Where are those choices from? There's a controlling aspect here, right? They're leading us in a certain way to suit them, whoever they are. We can speculate, whatever. That's a whole different fucking video. But the fact of the matter is, the majority of people watching this video are not living a life that they truly desire to live because they've been guided in a way that suits the wider narrative. So if you feel like that's you, that's okay. It happens to the majority of us. There's no judgment, there's no beat up. However, only you get to change that. Only you get to save yourself. And it's really all down to you and the choices that you're making, right? So give you a bit of a background into myself. If you don't really know me and my journey, I won't really speak too much into it, but I started from my rock bottom in all of the ways, and I didn't even know I was at my rock bottom in all of the ways. I just started my online business journey because I needed to change my financial situation, and ultimately throughout this journey I went on a deep personal and spiritual growth, evolution, healing, transformation and ascension journey that made me realise, fuck, I was actually at my rock bottom in all of the ways, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically and financially. I was toxic, I was unhealthy, I was 3 dress sizes bigger, I didn't care what I put into my body, I had toxic relationships, I was struggling from codependency, drink and drug abuse, food abuse, all of the things, and I couldn't communicate effectively. And I was very defensive, and I was also very combative and attacking as well in certain aspects, very judgmental. And yeah, it was a shit show, really. But I'm proud of her because she made the decision to save herself, right? And this is why I'm living the life that I'm living now and have been for the last 5 years. And it's my dream freedom life. I literally live exactly how I desire to live every single day. I have such a beautiful freedom-based business that's built entirely around myself and what I desire to share with my soul tribe. And this is available for anyone. And it all comes down to a decision to save yourself. And how did I initially start to save myself? Well, I started to make different choices. I decided that a job wasn't going to give me the life it is that I wanted. 9 to 5 banking on a salary that was giving me a 1.5% pay rise every year with a £1,500 bonus every year. It's laughable now I look back at it because I make more than that in one sale on automation. It's crazy. And if you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's real. This stuff is real. And they don't tell us this because they want to keep us small and stuck. And I'm getting emotional and like laughing underneath, but also crying because so many people are struggling because they don't know this information and they're fed all of this propaganda about doing things online and scam and to keep them small, and it just breaks my fucking heart, makes me so angry. And this is why I do these videos, and this is why I share what I share, because we can save ourselves, we can create change, we can make a difference in our own lives and then support our soul tribe in doing the same. So I started by doing something different. I knew that in my corporate banking job, I wouldn't be able to live in the way that I wanted. I was 25 and a half, 9 to 5, commuting 2 hours a day. And then when I got home, I was just like, yeah, Netflix, eat a load of food and drink a bottle of wine every night and just fucking destroy myself. And then the weekend would come and I'd just put as many fucking drugs in my body as I possibly could to escape my reality. Oh, what is that? I wanted to travel, I wanted to enjoy life, and I knew that that wasn't going to give me it. So I ended up seeing this advert online that led me to this guy that was living his freedom life. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but I knew that I wanted what he wanted, and lo and behold, I've been living my freedom life for 5 years, right? And I share this with you not to brag. I share this with you because this is available for you too, and this is exactly what I help support people in doing. I support people in creating their equivalent of what I have in a membership that I've created that allows people to consciously create their lives on their own terms and lead themselves. I give them all of the tools, all of the resources to literally come back to your power and your trust within yourself so you can create everything it is that you want, right? And my first step was deciding that I didn't fucking want this anymore. I didn't want this. I don't want this. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to go to a job that I hate, surrounded by people that are not really my people, that are pretty toxic and in their own fucking whirlwind of shit, just like I was. So no judgment, but I didn't want to be around those people anymore. I wanted to surround myself with expanders and people that were doing the things that could see what was going on and wanted to make a real difference. So I started to do that, and most importantly, I started to become that. Maybe you've heard of the saying, become the change you wish to see. This isn't some cliche woo-woo bullshit, it's true. Your experience is simply a reflection of your internal experience. So if you wish to see change in the world, if you wish to have a different experience, then you must shift things within you. You must save yourself. You must become the parent that you always wanted that you never had. You must give yourself the love that you are searching for. The only way that you're going to get the divine, true, sacred, healthy, safe, nourishing love that you're calling in is if you first give that to yourself. And if you don't give that to yourself, you're going to be seeking it outside of you and projecting all of this bullshit onto other people. And then they're going to met back at you and it's going to met. No, honey, no. You get to clean up your own shit. We all get to clean up our own shit. It's not just you. I'm not sitting here attacking you or anything. I love you. This is why I'm telling you this. Because I love you. This is tough love, right? Only you can save yourself. A prince in fucking shining armour on a white horse stallion's not going to come along. Although that would be great, you know? It'd be great to marry a millionaire and be everything sorted out and all of that. But then where's the fulfillment in that? Where's the journey in that? Where's the strength in that? And most of the time, they're wanting some kind of reciprocal back, right? There's either control in the mix or there's reciprocal. And if you're happy to do the reciprocal, cool, fine. But if you're not, then what the fuck's the point? What's the point? The way I'm creating it, for me, is I'm creating everything that I want, yeah? The money, the health, the wealth, the business, the relationships, the community. I'm creating everything. And the man that's eventually going to come and match that energy, he would have done that for himself as well. So we create ourselves as a whole person. We create our own thing, and then we come together and we build. Right? And this is where the strength is. And this is also, it's also not what only creates a better future for ourselves. It creates a better future for our children. And it really allows us to step into a really powerful role model for them. A really powerful leading example for them. Hey baby, you can do anything. You know how I know that? Because I did it. And if I can do it, you can do it too. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it, but in your own unique way, because we all do it so very differently. That's how. Our children are sponges, yeah? They take on what their surroundings are, what their environments are, who their parents are, who their caregivers are. So if you're a piece of shit, and if you're not really doing much for yourself, and if you're letting yourself down all the time, what do you expect them to be? And maybe you're not a piece of shit. I'm not saying that you're a piece of shit. I'm just saying, I'm just making you think about the bigger picture here, right? Well, I'm not making you, I'm inviting you. Language is very, very important. This is chai, by the way. I make my own chai. I love chai. So it's really getting you to think about the wider perspective here. Because most of the time people say, I want children. Okay, you want children when they're cute and fluffy and nummy. But how about when they grow up? What kind of people do you wish to support and cultivate? Do you wish them to have a grounded sense of personal power? Do you wish them to know who they are? Do you wish for them to be successful? Do you wish for them to think for themselves? Because who are they going to learn it from? They're not going to learn it from school. Definitely not going to learn it from school. And why I'm not sending my kids to a mainstream school when I have kids? Nope. I am not having the state program my children. Nope. Not happening. And it's our responsibility. If we choose to have children, it's our responsibility to become a leading example for them to be the best that they can be. And the way that we do that is by becoming the best that we can be, is by saving ourselves. No more blaming outside sources. Oh, it's his fault. Oh, it's their fault. Oh, it's the government's fault. Oh, it's because I was born this way. Newsflash, you chose this life. As a soul having a human experience, you chose this life. And you chose all of the problems, you chose your parents, you chose your family, you chose everything. Why? Because you knew that you were strong enough to be able to move through, overcome and rise above it. And you knew that you needed these lessons for your own soul's growth and ascension. You knew it. So then when you remember this, as a soul having a human experience, it's like, oh fuck, I chose this, oh my God. Then it gets to be fun. And then we get to make a game out of saving ourselves. And also something to remember, everything that your parents didn't give you that you wanted, you have to give yourself. And until you give yourself everything that your parents didn't give you that you always wanted, that's going to be reflected in relationships back at you until you give it to yourself. It's a lot. When I found this out, I was like, fuck. Fuck. That's a lot. But then imagine when you get to that stage, right, where you've given it all to yourself and then you've got it all and you're like, wow, I'm so powerful. I've created everything it is that I've ever wanted and I continue to. And the better it gets, the better it gets. The better it gets, the better it gets. Ah! Hey? Oh, it's so much fun. So where did I start? I started by making a change in the direction that I was going, in being able to create the life it is that I want. And I'm looking at my beautiful garden. I have a pool. It's amazing here. It's amazing. I'm so grateful, right? And I came from a flat on social housing in London. I got a discount from the government because I was struggling so much, and my flat was tiny. It was tiny. It was literally only big enough for just me, right? So I started that, and then I started working on my mind. And a huge way that I really started to work on my mind was also working on my body. Remember I said I was 3 dress sizes bigger. So I wanted to get into shape, and I wanted to learn how to love myself. And if you feel like you don't love yourself right now, that's okay. It's not your fault. It's because of the stories that have happened, because of the way that you've been trained and conditioned to compare yourself to other people and to shame yourself and all of that stuff. It's okay, but you can change that. Yeah? Maybe you've heard of affirmations before. We can call them mantras if you want. What's really important when you're talking to yourself in a positive way is that you believe it. So when I was fat, because I was, that might be triggering for some people, but that's the fact of the matter, and I'm talking about myself anyway, so you can't really say anything. When I was fat, I didn't say, I'm skinny and I'm sexy, because I didn't feel that way. No, I said I'm losing weight and getting into shape. I'm looking after my body. And that made me feel good, and I would say that to myself in the shower. So it's really important that when you're speaking to yourself in a positive sense, that you believe yourself. And it's really important that when you say that you're going to do something, you do it. If you say that you're going to start to work out, you start to work out. And don't don't overstretch yourself. If you've never worked out a day in your life and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna work out 7 days a week, that's not gonna happen. So you start small. I'm gonna start with 2 days a week, and if I do more, great. That makes you feel great. But no less than 2, right? So I started working on my mind and my body in conjunction with one another, because when you work on your body, especially when you're doing weights or a high intensity workout, or if you're a long distance runner or swimmer, I'm a long distance swimmer, so I would swim long distance and then I'd be like, 1 more, I can do 1 more, I can do this more, I can do that more, because normally it's your mind that's like, oh no, I can't do it. And then you're like, no, yes, I can. And that's the whole control over the mind. And it really strengthens your mind as well as strengthening your body as well. So this is why it's really, really important that you have a consistent exercise routine that's going to allow you to up your heart rate first and foremost, and also strengthen yourself in some way. Maybe you don't want to do weights, maybe it's yoga, maybe it's doing handstands and stuff like that. It's entirely up to you. You know you best, right? So strengthening the mind and strengthening the body is really, really, really important. And as you're going through this, then especially if you're starting a business, when you've got a strong mind and a strong body, you can fucking overcome anything on the entrepreneurial journey. And I shit you not, when you decide to become an entrepreneur, it's going to be one of the most hardest journeys of your life, but at the same time, one of the most liberating, because it's personal development with a paycheck. It's personal development on steroids. It's continually growing and evolving and looking at yourself and really learning how to be loving and compassionate with yourself as well. Instead of shaming yourself like, I don't know that, I'm not good enough, all that fucking stuff. It's like, no, I'm actually learning. I'm learning something new. I'm growing, I'm expanding. I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I'm changing things for myself and my family. I've never been taught this before. This is completely new. It's not necessarily in my DNA, because my family have never owned a business before, or they've never done this. So this is all completely new. So of course I'm going to stumble. Of course I'm going to be shit when I start. God, you should have saw me when I first started doing videos. Oh my gosh. And bear in mind, this was 7 years ago. I wish I still had it, but my Facebook got blocked and I lost all of that. That was a test in itself as well. Fuck, the stories that I could tell you about my journey. But when I first started doing videos, I used to need notes, because the only things that I would consume was all of the narrative bullshit, and I didn't really do any personal growth learning for myself. So when I first started, I didn't really know what to talk about, and I would use books to support me and inspire me. Whereas now, because I've been on this journey for nearly 8 years, it just comes out of me, because at first you read the books to learn and to get the inspiration, and then once you read as much books as you do, and then start really experiencing life and growth and being on the forefront of it all, you then start to work out your own voice and your own message with it, and then it comes out like the way it's coming out now. I mean, I can fucking speak for England if I'm allowed to speak for England. So when which they should allow me to speak for England, I think. Cheers to that. So when I first started, I used to and like and and touch my face a lot, and because I didn't like my smile. I love my smile now. When I started, I didn't like my smile. So when I'd laugh, I'd cover my face, because I got big gums, right? And it was a huge thing. I wanted to get surgery to bring my smile down and all of that stuff. I didn't like my boobs either, and I wanted surgery on them. But then the more I started to love myself, the more I learned to love myself, I was like, no, I don't need that. Why do I need that? And they make us believe that we need all of this to be perfect, and we fucking don't. We don't. Anyway, mind, body, learning how to love self is key. And that's a huge part of saving yourself. Because when you love yourself, and it's not from a place of arrogance, it's not from a place of I'm better than you. because I really fucking love myself. I think I'm great. I think I'm hilarious. I'm an amazing friend. I'm really fucking good at what I do. However, I don't believe that I'm any better than you. I don't believe that I'm any better than anyone. I'm just fucking amazing exactly how I am. And you know what? There's no one else like me. No one. Ain't that fucking amazing? Isn't that amazing? That's my superpower. There's no one else like me, just like there's no one else like you. Imagine what things would be like when you were so full in your power from a grounded place. From a place of, you know what, I know what I have to offer. I know who I am. I know the value that I have to give. I don't need to prove myself. There was once upon a time, and actually I let go of the remnants of it last year, this feeling of the need of validation, right? And praise of the work that I do and who I am and all of that stuff. And I came to the realization that through that need of validation, my power was being sucked from me, from an ex-partner of mine. And what do I need validation from anyone for? No one gets my mind the way that I do. No one gets my voice and my message the way that I do. No one can speak the way that I do or think the way that I do. Why do I need anyone to validate the way that I see the world? Because the way that I see the world is very, very unique to myself, and there's people that are going to vibe and there's people that are not going to vibe. And the fact of the matter is when we're looking for validation from others, we're basically saying, I don't think this is good enough, what do you think? Right? And why would we want to poo-poo our work or what we're doing like that? We don't. So it's really important to come back to our power in that sense and really learn how to validate ourselves and what it is that we're doing. Yeah, it's going to be different than other people. The way that I build my business is completely different to the majority of people in my industry, in the high ticket affiliate marketing industry. But you know what? I don't want to build my business like them. Why do I want validation from them? And I'm not saying that I was looking for validation from them at all, but there was a point where I was going through this comparison. Oh, they're doing it that way and they're successful, so I should do it like this. And then that was fucking up my internal compass, and it got to a point where I've just like, no, I'm not, I can't. Too much noise, see you later, you know? And it's not that it doesn't work for them, because it does, because it's them and it's their voice. However, we must be very aware that we have our own voice, and that we have our own way of doing things, and that we have our own way of wanting to move through this reality and build our business and build our relationships and build our family and all of that. We need no validation from anyone else, as long as we're not hurting anyone and as long as we're happy. Intentionally hurting anyone, of course, because I'm a 5-1 reflector with the gate of friction. I'm going to trigger the fuck out of people, but that's nothing to do with me, and that's everything to do with them. I don't intentionally go out to hurt people. I just share my truth and I say what I say. And if people want to be me, they're still in victim mentality and they're not ready to do the work, quite frankly. So if we are not intentionally looking to hurt anyone, and if we're happy, then no one really has a right to say anything unless we ask them, right? I want to end this because it's getting at 30 minutes. Fact of the matter is, you're not going to save you're not going to be saved. You get to save yourself, yeah? And you're powerful enough to save yourself. And that's not to say that you have to do it on your own, but at the same time, you do have to do it on your own. And what do I mean by that? Is you can subscribe to mentors and teachers and guides and coaches and therapists, whatever resonates with you. And then you can use the tools and the resources that they give you and then apply it to your own life and lead yourself. You can follow leaders, but don't be a follower for too long. You lead yourself. You follow a leader, but you lead yourself, and then you become a leader yourself. This is how we not only save ourselves, but we save our soul tribe as well. And if you're like, oh, I'm not a leader. Yes, you are. You just don't see yourself as one yet. But you are a leader, and especially if you have children, you're a leader. We cannot rely on the dud leaders that have been positioned in this fucking stage show of a world global experience. No, we can only rely on ourselves. We can only save ourselves. And the way that we support each other in doing that is by coming together in unity and community, creating conscious community for ourselves, becoming our best selves, and supporting others do the same. And if you're looking for a teacher, a mentor, a guide, and I'm one that speaks your language, then I'm here. There'll be a link in the bio where you can join the membership that I've created, the Growth Shift membership, and it's got everything that you need in there for your own conscious life creation. The personal growth, the spiritual growth, as well as the business growth as well. There's a done for you online business model for high ticket affiliate marketing that you can plug in that's all centered around true health, true freedom and sovereignty. And if you've already got a business and you're not looking for another one, then that's okay. All of the training in there can be applied to your business through building it on social media. So I cover you in all areas because I love you and I desire the best for you, because together we rise. It doesn't have to be lonely at the top, and there's so much space at the top. It's just a case of you choosing to rise to the top, to first take yourself and to take your family and to then bring your soul tribe with you. Okay? I love you so much. Have the best day.